Real Madrid be gearing up to drop a staggering 150 million on Florian Wirtz? Is Trent Alexander-Arnold on the move to a new club? And what's the latest on Raphael Varane? Could he really be hanging up his boots? Let's get into it. Oh boy, folks, did you see that? Liverpool absolutely steamrolled Manchester United at Old Trafford, a brutal 3-0 drubbing. Ten Hag's Red Devils looked more like lost puppies out there, and the post-match press conference? Fireworks. The press, bless him, went straight for the jugular. Eric, mate, no progress, same old story. Are you the problem? Ten Hag, ever the optimist, hit back with, are you serious? I don't think so. Otherwise we wouldn't win trophies and beat serious opponents. Oh, those trophies. Always with the trophies. He's more obsessed with second place behind City than actually, winning the league. And the excuses, they were flowing faster than the Mersey River. I'm not Harry Potter, he cries, blaming new players, lack of fitness, and needing to rebuild again. Didn't he just rebuild it last year? This guy's turning Old Trafford into a never-ending construction site. Let's talk facts, people. Under Ten Hag, United's loss rate is a whopping 28%. They're losing almost every third game. 14th place in the table, only 3 points. Liverpool and City are already miles ahead. Catch up? With this shower? Good luck. Yes, the season's young, blah blah blah, but let's be real, folks. Nothing has changed. Same old United, same old excuses. Not this, not that, it's everyone else's fault but mine. And he feels sorry for anyone who dares to criticize him. The arrogance is breathtaking. My 2 cents? United are a mess under Ten Hag. The football is dire, the tactics are baffling, and the players look lost. Last season's FA Cup was a fluke, a lucky break. They should have sacked him in the summer and started fresh. The experts are already whispering. This is Ten Hag's last season, they say. Some even predict an early exit. And honestly, can you blame them? So folks, let's have some fun. Place your bets. When will the Ten Hag era finally crumble? Drop your predictions in the comments below. It's gonna be a wild ride. We've got a proper transfer saga brewing here, and it's all about Liverpool's own Trent Alexander-Arnold. The lad's contract is ticking down faster than a stopwatch in Fergie time, and now we've got the Spanish giants circling like sharks. Real Madrid and Barca. Can you believe it? They're both gagging to snap up Alexander-Arnold on a free next summer. Madness. But hold your horses, folks. Let's rewind to that substitution against Bournemouth. Did you see Trent's face when he got the hook? He looked about as chuffed as a wet weekend in Blackpool. Arne Slot, Liverpool's new gaffer, tried to smooth things over, saying, he didn't look that happy being taken off. I understand. Every player wants to play 90 minutes, but I don't think the players that were on the bench from the start were really happy with the choice I made. Nice try, Arnie, but I reckon Trent's sulk speaks volumes. Is this the beginning of the end for our Scouse Cafu at Anfield? Now, let's talk about that potential move to Spain. Can you imagine Trent whipping in crosses for Vinny Jr. or Lewandowski? It'd be like watching Beckham all over again, but with a Scouse twang. But seriously, would he fit in La Liga? The pace, the flair, the endless tiki-taka? It's a different kettle of fish, innit? Our man Jamie Carragher's got the jitters about it all. He's come out and said, I'm more worried about Trent, especially with the situation last week of him coming off and looking a bit frustrated. I'm not sure what the hold-up is on that, because I'm sure Liverpool will have offered him whatever they can. Blimey, when Kera's worried, you know it's serious. So, what's the end game here? Will Trent stay loyal to the cop, or will he be saying, hasta la vista, baby, come next summer? It's like a game of Football Manager come to life, isn't it? One thing's for sure, will Trent sign on the dotted line, or will he be strutting his stuff at the Bernabeu next season? Get in the comments and let us know what you think. Is it time for Trent to spread his wings, or should he stick with the Reds? The clock's ticking, folks. Let the speculation begin. Andriy Lunin, Real Madrid's backup goalkeeper, is playing a game of high-stakes poker with the club, and it's Florentino Perez who's sweating. With only 10 months left on his contract, Lunin is set to walk away on a free transfer next summer. Can you believe it? Real Madrid, the giants of European football, are about to lose a top-quality keeper for nothing. Apparently, Lunin's had enough of warming the bench behind the magnificent Thibaut Courtois. He wants to be a number one, a starter, a hero, and who can blame him? Remember his performance last season? 9 saves against Leipzig, 2 penalty stops against Manchester City. The man's a wall. But with Courtois back from injury, Lunin's chances of first-team action are slimmer. So, what's a talented keeper to do? Well, if you're Andriy Lunin, you dig in your heels and say, "Adios, Perez, I'm out of here," and you're not getting a penny. Now, I gotta say, I admire Lunin's guts. He could have taken the easy money, moved to a smaller club, and played every week. But he's betting on himself, waiting for the right opportunity, a chance to shine on the biggest stage. Respect. Real Madrid, on the other hand, are fuming. Perez is reportedly seriously discontent. He was hoping to cash in on Lunin's stellar performances last season, but now it looks like he'll be leaving for free. Talk about a slap in the face. This whole situation is a bit of a mess, isn't it? Real Madrid are losing a valuable asset, Lunin is risking his career by staying on the bench, and Perez is probably throwing darts at a picture of Lunin's face. The irony is delicious. Lunin, the backup keeper, is holding Real Madrid hostage. He's turned the tables, become the puppet master. And Perez, the king of the transfer market, is powerless to stop him. So, what's next? Will Lunin get his chance to shine in the Copa del Rey or the early stages of the Champions League? Will another club swoop in and make a last-minute offer? Or will he see out his contract and walk away a free man, leaving Real Madrid with a gaping hole in their squad and a bruised ego? It's a goalkeeper rebellion, a battle of wills, and a reminder that even the biggest clubs can be outsmarted by a determined player. What do you think? Is Lunin making the right decision? Let me know in the comments below. Real Madrid, the kings of the Champions League, are on the prowl, and guess who's in their sights? None other than Bayer Leverkusen's wonderkid, Florian Wirtz. Now, if you've been following the beautiful game, you know that Luka Modric, the Croatian, isn't getting any younger. And who better to step into those legendary boots than Wirtz? Here's the kicker, folks. Bayer Leverkusen want a cool 150 million euros for their star. That's right, 150 million. But hey, when you're Real Madrid, you don't just buy players, you invest in Galacticos. Am I right? Imagine this. Wirtz, with his dazzling runs and pinpoint passes, linking up with the likes of Vinicius Jr. and Jude Bellingham. It's like watching a symphony on the pitch. But will it happen? That's the million-euro question. Or, should I say, the 150 million euro question. Now let's talk strategy. Real Madrid isn't just playing for today, they're setting up a dynasty. They've been snapping up the cream of the crop, the young guns ready to take over the world. And Wirtz, he's the crown jewel they're after. But wait, there's a twist in the tale. Bayern Munich, the Bundesliga behemoth, also has Wirtz on their radar. And let's be real, moving to Bayern would be like going from one German giant to another, but with more silverware, probably. Wirtz himself played it cool when asked about his future. "I don't have a plan, I don't have any idea in my head about that," Wirtz says. Smooth, very smooth, but come on, can we really see him staying at Leverkusen when giants are calling? And speaking of calls, if Bayern can splash the cash on an aging Harry Kane, surely they can cough up for Wirtz, right? But here's where it gets spicy. If they hesitate, Real Madrid might just swoop in like a white knight on a steed, or rather, in a white kit. Will Wirtz make the switch next summer? If he does, it could be the transfer saga of the year. Personally, I think if Real Madrid manages to pull this off, they're not just preparing for life after Modric, they're setting up to dominate for another decade. But hey, that's football, full of surprises, full of drama, and always, always full of passion. So, what do you think, fans? Is Wirtz worth the record-breaking fee? Will he become the next big thing at the Bernabeu, or will Bayern swoop in at the 11th hour? Comment below, let's get this debate rolling. Raphael Varane, the man who once bossed it at Real Madrid and Manchester United, might be calling it quits, in Como of all places. Yeah, you heard that right. The World Cup winner, Champions League king, and FA Cup hero is now facing the harsh reality of life in Italy's top flight, and things are looking pretty grim. So, what's gone wrong? Well, it's the same old story with Varane, isn't it? Injuries. They've been his Achilles heel for years, and now, just 1 month into his Como adventure, it's déjà vu all over again. The Frenchman made his debut in the Coppa Italia against Sampdoria, and guess what? He lasted just 23 minutes before limping off with yet another muscle injury. Can you believe it? It's almost as if Varane's legs are made of glass. Now, Como had big dreams when they signed Varane. After all, bringing in a player of his caliber was a massive statement. Freshly promoted to Serie A, they wanted to take on the big boys, and Varane was meant to be their defensive rock. But here we are, only a few weeks later, and the club is already thinking about tearing up his contract. Yeah, it's that bad. But let's be real here, folks. Varane's injury woes are nothing new. Remember his last days at United? He was in and out of the treatment room more times than he was on the pitch. Sure, he had that heroic return to help United lift the FA Cup against City. What a way to bow out, by the way. But maybe that should have been his final curtain call. I mean, how many times can you go through the same cycle? Get injured, recover, get injured again. It's a vicious circle. And here's the kicker. Como have already left him out of their Serie A squad list until the next registration window. They're not messing around, and you can't really blame them. But what does this mean for Varane? Is it time for him to hang up his boots? I mean, at 31, he's still got some years left on the clock, but if his body keeps betraying him like this, is it really worth it? Look, we all love a comeback story, but sometimes the body just says, enough is enough. Maybe Varane should listen. After all, he's achieved more than most players could ever dream of. Maybe it's time to ride off into the sunset and leave the game with his head held high instead of limping off yet again. So, what do you guys think? Should Varane call it a day, or does he have one more fight left in him? Let us know in the comments, and as always, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more football news.